Hello, 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 and welcome back to the live stream podcast, coming to you live from beautiful downtown historic Abilene, Texas. We're located at the Majestic Coffee right here on Pine Street, and we're in the Neon Parrot Live Studios. Today, I'm really excited to have a special guest on, and this is Travis James Eason. This is my son, TJ.
How's
How
it
are
going,
you?
y'all? How's it going, stream?
You doing good, bud?
I'm doing all right.
Thanks for waking up and making it down here today.
Of course.
So I'm having you on, and we're also going to get another guest on real quick here in a little bit. But I want to talk about some things that you're doing, some things that we're doing, and just check in with you about life. So you've come down and watched a couple of these podcasts. What do you think about what we're doing down here?
I have. They're really fun. Something different that's going on. I like it a lot. I think building something cool.
Well, thanks. Yeah. And you're currently in a musical group.
I am in a musical group.
Tell me about this group.
So we are a band. We're called Cash and the Change.
Cash and the Change.
Cash and the Change. We do sort of a little bit of everything. It's great. Mostly rock music. Some country twang maybe in there sometimes. It's great. We're actually playing a show tonight at the Ice House, Lone Star Dry Goods.
Tonight at Ice House, right across the street, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. And then same time tomorrow night at Lytle.
So you got two shows this week.
Two shows this week.
That's great. And then your band has kind of become the house band for us at the Cotton Warehouse, the free music show that we're doing once a month. How's that been going?
I think it's been going great. It's fun to watch this event go from just a quick pop-up into something that's more thought out, that is hopefully within the next year going to become a staple in our community for cool talent and culture.
I love it. And so our next show is the 12th of December, Thursday. Yeah, very cool. So you recently moved back to Abilene after being gone for a little while. So where were you? What were you doing?
So I was living in Katy, Texas for a little bit, and then this small community of Columbus, Texas, which is right off of I-10 in between Austin and Houston. It's fun.
Yeah. What were you doing down there?
So I was a head bartender out at a great country club called the Big Easy Ranch.
Big Easy.
Let's go Billy Brown.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. I learned a lot. I got to meet so many cool people. Push myself in a lot of ways that I didn't know I could be pushed.
Nice.
Which was great, and got to play golf all the time. So
yeah, can't complain about
golf.
But where did music go for you while you were on this adventure?
You know, I didn't have enough time for it. It felt like there were a lot of times when I was living in Katy, I was having to commute an hour both ways every day to get to this spot, and I feel like I put it on the back burner, which was sad. And then whenever I came back to Abilene and started just playing around with music again, I didn't realize how much I needed that. And, you know, just that artistic creativity, a way to, like, release, you know, I needed that.
So it's been good to come back and get back into music.
Yeah, it's been great.
And then you reconnected with some of the old bandmates from previous projects, like Cam Sloan.
Yes, sir.
And how's that been?
Oh, it's been great. It's fun now. Like with the show that we're going to play tonight, we're playing some old covers of songs that we did whenever I first met him, and it's fun to kind of look back over the years and just see the progression of playing the same songs with the same dude, but we got different people now, and it's got its own sound, and you know, it's been really fun to kind of reminisce and also look forward to, like, what's new. It's cool.
That's very cool.
It's cool.
And you guys have come a long way with some of those songs, just because I mean, I'm biased because I'm your dad and I'm the band dad, but listening to some of the songs that were written 3-4 years ago and hearing you play them now, I feel the life experience coming through from you young men. You know, I can hear that 4 years has gone by and we're just a little bit older, wiser, and more mature. It's fun.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
It's cool. So what else do you want to talk about as far as the Cotton Warehouse or the band right now?
Cotton Warehouse. Let's see. So for anybody who hasn't gone or didn't go to this last one, we did something really cool with, we brought out fire pits, which was awesome. Like, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about music around a fire with your friends that we really encapsulated this last time. It was great. It just felt like a backyard barbecue, like a family hangout with strangers, you know. It just felt very comfortable and homey, you know.
I like it.
I really, really like that.
So there were some other projects that had happened in the past. Cabin dinners is one that I'm thinking of that kind of got to a similar vibe. I mean, it was cabin dinners was backyard concerts and vendors would come out and a similar thing.
Yeah. And those are really cool. I went to a few of those. I feel like this is just something so different. It's in its own lane, you know. It's really cool. I'm super excited about it, guys. If you haven't gone, you need to go this next time. It's going to be great.
And one major plus for those of us that have been on the board trying to move this thing forward is we were able to get power out there just the other day. So this next show in December, we won't have to be as reliant on our generators, which is a big win for those of us in the movement.
Oh, yeah. No, that's going to be huge.
It's going to be great. So you were born and raised in Abilene, Texas.
Yes, I was.
I mean, you went to Abilene High School.
I did.
And how would you reflect on, you know, after moving away for a little bit and coming back, what are some of your reflections on the culture and art in Abilene and where you find yourself today?
Culture and art in Abilene. Let's see. I feel like the art scene here is underrated. There's tons of talent in Abilene that isn't necessarily tapped into. When I was living in the Houston area, I mean, there's so much art there, but I see the same talent here in a lot of ways. It's really cool. And I also like that it is a smaller town. So you kind of, like, networking as an artist is pretty easy here. You can get more plugged in, and, you know, the community is just a little bit better.
Nice.
I think so. I don't
Nice. That's okay. We are going to. I am going to segue into our next guest because we're in a little bit of a time crunch this morning, but I want to bring up a couple things with you real quick before we part. So, with Cash and the Change, the current band, what are some of the things you're hoping to do, and what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing right now as a band?
So one thing is Mission Thanksgiving kind of threw a wrench in some stuff.
Hey, you don't have a bandmate tonight.
I don't have a bandmate tonight, but it's fine. You know, we're gonna make do. Show must go on. I think that's been really fun too, is having to navigate challenges as they arise, because then you have to push yourself to, you know, make the show happen.
Rise to the occasion.
Yeah, rise to the occasion, which means you have to be, you know, versed in many different aspects of the band. You have to know every single part of that song just in case someone gets sick, and you got to jump in.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
you've played now lead, rhythm, bass, drums. It doesn't matter.
All of it,
Vocals, just kind of fill in wherever.
And I really
the
love
gap
that I
is.
have enough people in the band that we can all do that. We're all multi-instrumentalists.
Yep.
And, you know, that's really great.
Yep. So right now the band is you and Ethan Walraven and Cam Sloan and Josh Martin and
Christian
Martin. Yep. Yep. Very cool. And so we can catch the band tonight right across the street at Ice House starting at 7.
Yes,
and
sir.
then we can catch you guys tomorrow night at Lytle and about the same time, about 7,
About the same
7:30.
time,
Yep. Very good. And then we can catch you again in December at the next Cotton Warehouse show.
Yep.
December 12th. Very good, sir. Can we have you back on in the future? And,
Yes, sir.
And catch up and chat about things?
Of course.
Thanks, my son. I really
course.
appreciate you having you on the show for a little bit today.
It's a blast. Thank you
awesome.
for having me.
All right, welcome back. That was a fun little segment, segue, fade in and out. We created some magic there for those of you watching live, where TJ disappeared, and now we have the amazing Benjamin Fair breakdown with Ben. And I'm doing this little split show today because I wanted to fill time. I don't have a full hour guest, but I've got my cohort and all of these YouTube productions. Ben, who's got his own fabulous show coming on right after this, the breakdown with Ben. He's done one whole week more than I have on my show. I think you're in week 10.
Week 10.
Week 10.
Double digits.
And they're just flying by, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
how quick
it's
that
crazy.
makes a week go by.
So, for the last 10 weeks, Sam and Ben and I and, our guests, or D. Grant, who's participated, we've all been up here just creating content, putting it out there on the World Wide Web. But we got to see something this last week that I wanted to have you on specifically to break down, to unpack. And that's the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Oh, man.
Which we all struggled to buffer to make that thing play.
Yeah.
But let's have a little tit for tat on that whole situation. Let's break that down from a cultural standpoint.
Absolutely. Well, I guess and obviously I'm going to be ranting about this in a little bit, which is cool because the rant can be for that, and then you and I can actually sit here and figure this out together. So there's what did we see, right? Like during the actual fight, or whatever you call that.
Yeah. It was an exhibition. It was a circus. I think we could.
Yeah.
It was a show.
It was a gimmick. It was a lot of
entertainment.
things. I'm going to try not to rant right now about it because I'm mad at myself for falling for it.
Yeah.
Because
no.
we all knew what was going to happen. And I think part of the interesting thing about all this is there's this part of us, and I've been asking people, my sports sycophants and all these like crazy sports people that will watch anything. And like, there's a part of us, like 35-plus-year-old people that, we want, it's just the same way with this football stuff. We want Tom Brady to win because he's 43, still playing.
Yep.
We want, some people, if he wasn't such an ass, we want Aaron Rodgers to win because he's 41, whatever. There's this part of us that's like, Tyson could do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could do this.
Yeah.
And like, I think what we'll never know is who was in the ring actually, and what was he not allowed to do.
Yeah.
And contractually, and what could he have actually done, right? But the thing that sucks is we'll just never know. And I would encourage, America not to allow a clown like this internet kid to make that much money off of us. What if?
Well, he had help. I mean, they did it at Jerry World.
Yeah.
TJ and Sam and I watched it, and we had the big TV outside, and we ended up having to try to buffer on that television along with my phone, along with Sam's phone.
And I'm texting you,
and we're texting
back and
about
forth
it.
about this.
And it was just, and at that moment I realized, oh, this is the entire world suffering with Netflix's technological shortcomings. And at the same time, somewhere in there, it never really occurred to me who the billing was for this.
Yeah.
I always thought, oh, this is a Tyson-Paul fight. But no, it was billed as the Paul-Tyson fight. And that should have been the biggest clue to me from the beginning.
Right.
Is that we got a guy that's not a boxer. He's a showman. He's an entertainer. He's at Jerry World. Netflix is going balls to the wall for this thing. The graphics were incredible. Just the camera angles. It was a show. It was just this crazy, wild show that we all were just desperate to watch. And we'd have to wait for buffering and wait for buffering. And we did get to watch some boxing. We got to see three matches,
Yeah.
so to speak.
What is boxing
I
now?
don't know.
Like,
Gross.
yeah, and like to me, it's like Another thing that's clear to me now is there's a reason why UFC is king, MMA is king. It took a while because at first we didn't have the stomachs for the violence of, watching people punch each other with pillows on their hands was more digestible for us as a society. Now we love violence. We eat, drink, sleep violence. Our kids shoot people on TV screens all day and night long.
Yep.
And so now that we can stomach the MMA, you can't. I would argue that it would be a lot more difficult to rig one of those fights versus a boxing match.
Yeah.
Because a boxing match, you're simply punching each other. It's not simple, but with the wrestling and all the other things, I think if you look at an MMA fight and somebody was trying to throw something, I just think it would be a little more obvious. And with these and I think that's the downfall of boxing as we know it. And boxing's been like on life support for over 15 years, probably.
Yeah.
And like the only people that watch boxing is, boxing fans. And D. Grant is a great boxing fan, and he really knows the sport. And I will ask him, and because I'm going to have him on again. I'd ask him like, what's the boxing fan getting out of like these other fights that are happening that we don't see, and like, are they good? Do you really feel like you're getting, a good show out of it and stuff? And anyways, I don't mean to ramble about that, but I think ultimately the problem that boxing has is they can't get people to pay on pay-per-view, and that's why there's this Netflix thing. Because, of course 100 million people are going to watch it because we already pay for the service, and it's a circus.
Yep.
And we're just inclined to watch the circus unfold as theater, like you say. And, the entertainment value was garbage of that actual fight. There was one good fight that I saw, and it was a smaller dude. This is embarrassing. I don't have it all in my front of me, but the South American dudes. Yeah, one of them was from San Antonio, right? But
really? I thought they built them both as Mexican.
well,
it
they
could've
were
been San Antonio, like
Mexican
Chile.
American
Yeah.
is what they were, build them as, and like the smaller dude almost won, and I was like, okay, that was, and you could tell that was a fight that was going on, that was, legit, and then the two ladies.
It was.
What was that?
It was ugly to watch.
Lead with your head. Always lead with your head.
Yeah, lead with your head.
And like the referee, I'm glad they called him out. Her corner man or whatever was like, well, we're not going to fight her again with this referee and these judges because that was an actual, like, boxing gets all this bad rap. That's it right there. The Jake Paul Tyson fight, that wasn't a boxing match. We can all agree that. But those two ladies, they were in there kicking each other's asses, and then the one girl's just headbutting her, opens her eyes up, continues to headbutt her. The ref only warned her one time, and she did it at least 9 to 10 to maybe every time they met. And then the judges, in spite of that girl getting her face busted wide open, and like they almost made her forfeit because, dude, that was a crazy
gross.
wound.
Yep.
And
by the way, Netflix wasn't buffering at all for those
During
close-up
that.
shots. It was just. I'm not saying it's coincidence, but
it was weird.
coincidence.
But the fact that, I mean, that ref just let her keep headbutting, which is not legal.
Grinding that cornrow into that wound.
Yeah, grinding that cornrow into the wound, and then you have, the judges. I mean, in my opinion, Serrano. I mean, it was she kicked her ass because she still was beating the hell out of her in the midst of this freaking tuna cut open looking eye wound, getting just headbutt, and she still, in my opinion, won that fight fair and square. What the hell is that all about? It just makes me, I wanted to take a shower after that for so many reasons.
I feel like there was a deal that no titles would be lost.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
That
too.
was,
yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like that was a thing
Yeah, that
from
was
what we saw.
that was absolutely had to be. And so, like, what? Why are we watching this crap? Why? And as a sports fan and somebody who loves competition, somebody who gambles, and then I'm gonna just be real honest with you right now. And sorry, I don't mean to be taking over
Go, baby, go.
the show here, but and this is how bad it got me. Is I'm sitting in there with my lovely fiance, and we have one TV in the house that's not buffering.
Okay.
It's the bedroom TV. I've you know, for whatever reason, and I'm like, I'm gonna put a bet on Tyson to win.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's like, that's dumb. She even knows it's not gonna go down, right?
Yep.
And it's like, because the odds was Jake Paul was like a 330 money line favorite, like a what do you call it, minus 330, so $100 to win like $300 or whatever. And if you go the other way, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna put a little bit on Tyson. I put like $15 on it, and I knew I was gonna lose it, but I did it anyway because that's how bad I wanted to see him hit that kid.
We all did. I think that's the whole reason everybody tuned in is we wanted to watch Jake Paul get creamed by Tyson. And from what I saw, Tyson had it in him. I mean, the glove biting just hold him back like, mother, I'm going to freaking eat you for lunch.
Yeah, and it was either that or, and this is something that I'm going to go into on my show here in a little bit. Like, that guy looked, quite frankly, he looked like Joe Biden trying to walk out there and get in the ring.
He was a little slow.
He didn't look like he knew where he was.
Yeah.
And, like, did his legs work? Now, the glove biting, and the funniest thing about that is the announcer's like, oh, this is something that Tyson does. He's trying to keep everybody, like, it's okay, guys, keep watching.
Yeah.
And then the announcer, I think it was Roy Jones Jr., he was like, this is not good. No matter what the case is, this is bad.
This is bad.
And then the glove biting thing, and then so Michael Irvin, the former Dallas Cowboy Football Hall of Famer, I don't know what this is based on. I've done some internet digging, but Michael Irvin said that there was a contractual agreement that Tyson would not hit Paul in the body and would not uppercut him.
I've heard the uppercut piece of that.
I can't find anything. Now we haven't seen their contract. We've seen the rules of the fight, but we haven't seen their contract. And I feel like this is kind of one of those things where with some time it'll come out.
Probably.
It's just like, are we going to be as
do we care? Are we going to care?
Are we going to care in 2 weeks about any of this shit?
No.
Nope. Excuse me. Probably not. But if that's true, then it makes me mad because, Tyson, no matter if he was in a wheelchair, he could have probably given him a couple of shots that he didn't. And I think we can all agree with that. No matter what conspiracy you want to go with here, whether he was pulling punches or whether he's just not okay and he's not healthy at all, because there's another theory on his ulcer that he had.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, man.
I think we watched a battle of flesh, but we were all participating in a war of the mind.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good point, and it makes me. These are the kind of things that I wish we would, going forward, just say, let's just boycott that. And I'm not a big boycott guy on anything really, but.
We all got fed the slop on that one.
And we knew it. We knew it was coming, and I know we just talked about that, but that's what just frustrates the hell out of me, is that we knew it was coming. I even put a bet on, I tend to do that, though. I tend to, if I can put $5 down to win 50, I'll lose the 5, because what if?
Yep.
That's part of my shtick, too, with my show. But
so speaking of your show, let's segue you into that, and let's close down our conversation for today, because I'm going to have you back on again in the future also
it'd be
for
great,
more.
Man. Thanks for having me.
And I'm glad that we got to at least begin to unpack that, and I know you're going to go a little deeper into it too on your show.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thanks for doing this with me, and I know my show's a little quick today, but like I said,
no worries.
some of our
great.
producers and such. We've got some other things on our agenda today, and we're just trying to crank out some content for you good people of the world, citizens of the world.
Producer Sam's a busy man, huh?
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate right now. Yeah. So I was gonna do a joke about nepotism, but I'm not gonna do that today. We'll save that for another time. That'll be the joke. Thanks again for watching and tuning in. Coming to you live from the Neon Parrot Live Studios, downtown Abilene, Texas, the Majestic Coffee. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, TJ. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.